Testing one, two. Beautiful people, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Sorry about that. Technical issues are always something, but I hope we are on. I hope we are back. Hope you can hear me well. Awesome, awesome. If you can, give me thumbs up. Give me hundreds in the chat. Let me know that we are on. We are here. Awesome. Chris, thank you so much for that. So you guys can hear me. Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Kenya is here. Beautiful people, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here to join me for another great session. I'm Charissa Munroe Wilborn, and our session today is all about habits for personal growth and leadership. Personal habits for personal growth and leadership. I'm excited about this one. If anyone knows me, you know that I'm very heavy in the personal growth world because personal growth, spiritual growth, all of those go together. So whether you're joining live, whether you're watching the replay, this space is for you. The leader, the visionary, the change agent, ready to grow. So if you're tuning in, drop your name. Let me know in the chat. You guys know I want to be able to feel all of you and see you. And the best way I can do that is if you communicate back to me in the chat, in the comment section. Let me know where you're joining from. I see Africa's in the building already. The Bahamas is also present. Also hit the share button. Let someone else know that this is going down so that they can also be inspired. Who is in the building? Zimbabwe is in the building. I got Instagram here, Nigeria, Kenya. Awesome. Yes, Mario, you can finally hear me. Thank you. Okay, good. Let me know where you're joining from. Barbara from the US, Canada is in the building. Okay. I see we are all across the globe. This is awesome. My dad loved being able to reach and touch the four corners of the earth, as that is our mandate as humans when Jesus left. And so we get to do exactly that. Ethiopia is in the building. Houston, Texas is in the building. Zambia, Pennsylvania, the Bahamas, woohoo! Ghana, Alex from Ghana, St. Louis, Boston, Louisville, Kentucky, Dallas, Texas, South Africa, Nigeria, Belize. Welcome, Marjorie. Welcome from all the way from Belize, Mississippi, the United Kingdom, Kuwait. Wow, Swarope. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Please forgive me. I would love to know what time it is in Kuwait. Let me know. Uganda, Tanzania, Cameroon. Africa is always showing up. Manchester, New Hampshire, Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, so you guys are in here like somewhere, like they would say. Okay, so we don't want to waste time. I want to have enough time to be able to share my heart, share with you some empowering strategies, some encouragement and hope, so that the next 6 years of your year and the next 60 years of your life can be completely lived and amazing. So we're going to dive in. And so we're talking about the habits of personal growth, or the habits for personal growth and leadership. And you may wonder, well, why are we talking about this? Why does habits even matter? Well, habits matter because everything that we see of each other, every production, every result, everything that's produced is because of habits that were done over and over and over again. And leadership isn't a title, it's a lifestyle. So when you think about leadership being a lifestyle, and your lifestyle is created and built on the habits that you perform every day, every month, every year, these little decisions that you make, little things that you do with your hands and your brain and your mind and your heart, like all of those are habits. And lifestyle is built on the things we do consistently, and those are habits. And it is habits that shapes your mindset, but it is also mindset that shapes your habits. And your habits is what shapes your consistency, and your habits shapes your legacy. And so when you think about habits, think about the decisions that you make every year. So how many of you have habits that you do every day? Like you have a routine. Like a routine would be a habit. So if you want to think about habits, it's that. If you have a habit, if you have things you do every day, same time of the day, if you have things that just ways about you, if you have the same tool that you use, the same fork that you use, the same plate, you eat the same food, you make the same decisions, like those are habits. Do you have those habits? Think about the habits that you do. Habits are like, I think about a recipe when you're making a cake, for instance, and habits are those things that you put, those ingredients that you put in the recipe to get the result that you want. Okay. If you don't like the result of the cake, then there's something going on with the ingredients. Either you missed an ingredient, you put too much of an ingredient, you put too less of an ingredient, you put an ingredient that's expired. Think of the habits in your life as ingredients of a cake. If you don't like the life that you're living, if you're not getting the result that you want, then check your habits. If you're not the leader that you want to be, if your leadership, when you think of leadership, it isn't a lifestyle of who you are, then check your habits, check your decisions, check the things you do every day. Okay. So those are, it's that important when you think about the habits of personal growth and leadership, because if habits create our mindset, or if our mindset create our habits, then we need to be checking in with our habits every day. We need to be checking in with our mindsets every day. Do we need to realign? Do we need to reassess? One thing my dad, Dr. Myles Munroe, always said is true leadership is self-discipline expressed in consistent action. So remember, habits are the actions and ways that you do consistently. True leadership is self-discipline expressed in consistent action. What are you doing consistently? It's the things that you do repeatedly over and over again, whether someone is watching you or not, because it can be things you're doing behind closed doors that no one sees. That is determining your growth. So are you growing? Are you growing physically? Are you growing spiritually? Are you growing mentally? Are you growing psychologically? Are you growing financially the way you want? And are you growing in the direction that you want? Because if you're not, then you want to check what you're doing repeatedly. Is this signing up for you? Yes? Is this resonating? Because if it's resonating, give me a 10. At least that lets me know that I'm not here every day. Ooh, Instagram is on it. Someone says I read every day. Uh, Leadership is self-discipline. Absolutely. So and we're going to talk about what those habits are, because one of the habits that you're going to hear is reading and learning. So let's dive into some powerful, powerful habits. And I want us to talk about and walk through 7 powerful habits that have shaped not only my leadership, but the leadership of so many other people. There are so many great leaders in the world, high position or no high position, title or no title. Nonetheless, they've lived their life in true leadership. I promise you, it is these 7 habits at minimum that they have applied to their life that have gotten them to where they are. And these are the 7 habits that have transformed mine. And so I hope that today, as you take note of these 7 powerful habits, that they can help transform yours as well. Okay. So get your pen and paper, get your notebook in your phone, and write down these 7 habits, starting with number 1, the habit of reflection. I love this habit, the habit of reflection. And when you think about growing, when you think about growing anything, whether you're growing, trying to lose weight to grow smaller, or you're trying to gain weight to grow bigger, or you're trying to grow your business, or you're trying to uh, you're trying to grow your finances, you're trying to grow, the first thing you want to do is always determine, where are you now? What do you have in your hands now? What do you need to get rid of? And so you need to become self-aware of what you have, of who you are, of where you are. Like when you think of GPS and you think of a map and you want to go from point A to point B, the first thing that needs to happen before you can get to point B is you need to tell the GPS that I am at point A and I'm trying to get to point B. So yes, we know where we want to go, but where are you? I know sometimes that we don't like to see where we are because we don't like where we are. We look in the mirror, we don't like the way we look. We look in the rearview mirror, we don't like where we came from. We look at our side and we don't like our neighbor, so we don't want to look at it. But you have to allow yourself the space to, if only to take a glimpse Become self aware of where you are, who you are, and what you have. And then schedule some time to pause and reflect. So, one of the ways that I do that, you may ask, well, Sharissa, how do I do that? One of the ways that you can pause and reflect is at the end of the year. A lot of people do it. You can do it at the end of any year before you go into the next year. Reflect on the last 12 months. Reflect on the habits that you did every month, every day. Reflect on, did you get the results that you wanted at the end of the year? Another way to do it that I've actually started implementing as of recently is I stop and reflect mid-year. So June, July, right now, I'm reflecting over the past 6 months of my 2025 because I want to see if I can end and produce even bigger, if I can grow even stronger, better, faster the end of 2025. So now I reflect. So that's what I've done. You get to choose when you want to reflect, but make sure you pause and reflect, reassess, evaluate who you are, where you are, what you have. Ask yourself, what did I do well? And sometimes you can do that in the day, like what did I do well today before tomorrow? Or you can ask yourself, what did I do well in the last 6 months that can make my next 6 months even better? So those two questions, what did I do well and what can I do better? And that can be, what can I do well today? What did I do well last month? What did I do well 6 months ago? What did I do well 5 years ago? And what can I do better for the future? So whether you want to journal that, whether you pray, whether it's quiet time, pausing and reflecting can happen in various ways. You can journal it. I'm not a big journaler, but I know people who journal well because they need to get it out. I'm big on prayer. I'm big on quiet time. Everyone is different. Whatever it is that keeps your reflection aligned with who you are, it just helps you to realign with your values. Okay. So decide, how do you reflect? How, and let me take a poll. How do you reflect? Everyone reflects differently. So if you do reflect, whether it's journaling, praying, yoga, exercise, quiet time, drop it in the chat, drop in the comments. How do you reflect? How do you reflect? And everyone reflects differently. So there'll be no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just, this is how you do it, and this is what works for you. Also, I enjoy that we get to put it in the chat because everyone gets to see other people's way of reflecting, and they may be like, oh, maybe I can try that. So you get to share with other people how you do it, like I'm sharing with you. So how journaling, Mario says journaling. Denise says, pray to God, rather to God. Uh, Wissa says, prayer, talking to myself. That's good. Yes. Journaling, quiet time. Exercise is also a way that I enjoy reflecting. Sometimes it's just taking a walk, and just allowing myself to uh, give my body what it needs while my spirit works. Early in the morning, prayer and walking, listening to music. Shamika, that's a very good one. Meditating. Sheila, I see that. Okay, so these are different ways that you can reflect, but you want to make sure that you are reflecting and make it a habit. Figure out how you can make reflection of your day, of your year, of your month, of your lifestyle, of your decisions. Reflect on those consistently. Do you have to do it every day? No. Do you have to do it every year? Please. Do you have to do it every month? Absolutely. But make sure you are doing something consistently. But what works for you? Okay. Habit number 2, habit of reading and learning. Now, everyone doesn't like to read. I'm glad that we are finally in a space where reading can look very different. So you can have an actual book in your hand that you read. You can actually audio read, where you can sit and have a book via audio, and that's how you're reading. You can read on your phone. Reading is essential, especially for leaders. And what you are reading is also just as essential as reading. But leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. My dad used to read a certain amount of books every month. And sometimes I used to wonder, man, how is he so knowledgeable? Or how is he able to reference so many wide range of things? And then he said it. He said, I read a certain amount of books every month, which also means he reads a certain amount of books every year in total. And it just expanded his knowledge base. It expanded his perspective. And so whether it's just 10 pages a day, you don't have to read one book a month. You can read 10 pages in a month. You can read 10 pages in 2 months, or you can read 10 pages in a day, depending on who you are. But whether you're reading a book, because it's also reading and learning is this habit. So you can learn by taking a course. You can learn by watching a podcast. Podcasts are very big now. My brother and I both have podcasts. The rest of so many other people, the rest of the world have podcasts. There's no excuse, and everybody has a phone. Just about everybody in their life have a phone. If you have a phone, you can read. If you have a phone, you can learn. If you have a phone, you can watch, you can hear, you can listen. And there are, an endless ways of learning and keeping up with the times and expanding your knowledge. You just want to make sure that you are always always a student. One of the things that I love to share, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy being able to encourage and provide hope and teach and train others who will allow me to present to them the knowledge that I have. I love doing this. So this makes me a teacher. This makes me an expert in whatever it is I'm talking about. This makes me a coach, a trainer. I'm able to do this though, and I'm able to do this so well because when you guys don't see me, I'm somewhere learning. When you guys don't see me or hear me, I'm somewhere being a student. I'm somebody's student. I'm somebody's protege, if you will. Like I'm watching and I'm learning, I'm reading because I want to know how can I, when I do show up, how can I be at the top of my game? How can I be the best leader? How can I be the most effective leader? And I can be the best teacher to you because I am an even better student. So make sure you are always learning. Knowledge compounds. So I would love to know, what book are you guys reading? And if you had to drop in the chat a book that has changed your life this year, what is that? And I would love for you to share one book because there are 5,000 plus other people watching. And we are all looking for, man, what's the next book I can read? So we're going to make this space a library for a second. So drop in the chat a book that changed your life this year, whether this the beginning of 2025 or even part of 2024. What is a book that you read that changed your life this year? And it can be a book you read the pages. It could be an audio book. It can be, it doesn't have to be the traditional way of reading, but what book did you read? What did you read that changed your life this year? Denise, I love it. I love it. I love it. One of the greatest books in the world is the Bible. Is the Bible. And it's one that we should be reading every day, but it's definitely one that we should consistently make a part of our life library, is that of the Bible. Thick and Grow Rich, The Power of Leadership, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Experiencing God. Oh, I've heard about that book. Understanding Sonship. Great book. The Art of the Start by Guy Kawasaki. Come on, guys. I want you to take note. Take note of the books that are here because you get to add these to your library. You get to add these to your list of books to read. These are books that have changed the lives of others. So they can also change the life. I already see books that I want to add to my list as well. How I Manage My Finances. Good one. I'm reading The Miracle of Seed Faith by Oral Roberts. Ooh, great, great guy. Great man. How to Hustle and Win. Supreme Understanding. Becoming a Leader by Dr. Myles Munroe. Bait of Satan by John Bevere. Oh, yes, don't let it go by. 48 Laws of Power. These are great. These are great. So good. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are reading. Never stop reading. Never stop learning. If you want to be a greater leader, if you want to be an effective leader, make sure you are reading. Let's move on. Number 3, the habit of vision casting. The habit of vision casting. Now, what I enjoy about number 3 and number 1 is they go hand in hand. So, number 1 is all about the habit of reflection. Number 3 is the habit of vision casting. And remember, I encouraged you to, one of the ways that you can reflect is at the end of the year. One of the ways that you can vision cast is at the beginning of the year. So a lot of people do vision boards and vision prompts, vision journaling at the beginning of the year. And vision is so important because you can't lead what you can't see. You can't lead people even to where you cannot see. So you start to ask your question, where am I going? Like, what is my 5-year plan? And I'm going to even break it down even smaller. What's your 3-year plan? What's your 6 months plan? What is your day plan? I think gone are the days actually of us trying to plan 5-10 years in the future. We have seen from the pandemic, from the things happening in the world right now, we literally only have today. Are you planning your tomorrow? Are you planning your week? Are you planning? And then if you really want to think, are you planning 10 years or 20 years down the road? Like, you get to do that because once you plan, then you can reverse engineer. These are the habits that I need to do, or these are the habits that I must perform to get to that vision. What legacy are you building? Do you have a idea of the legacy you want to leave behind when you are no longer here? What do you want people to say about you? So what you do consistently will determine what people say about you. The way you behave, the way you act, the way you respond, and what comes out of your mouth, what you do with your hands consistently, this is going to be the legacy that you leave behind. So this is what people will remember. This is what people are going to say. What do you want that legacy to be? What are you building? And then are you doing the habits consistently that's needed to build that? Are you laying the blocks consistently? Leaders revisit and refine their goals regularly. So having a vision, having a goal and casting it is so that you have goals to look at. You have goals to check. You have goals to always revisit daily, weekly, monthly, hourly. Am I meeting this goal? And it's always a reminder. Like, sometimes we always need a reminder of the vision that we are setting for ourselves, because there's so much in the world that can be very distracting. It can get you off focus. And vision is what's going to lead to habit number 5, habit number 4. Vision and how you operate vision is going to build and breed how disciplined you are. So let's think about it. We are already 6 months into 2025. Okay. So by now, you should have figured out what you want, the vision you have for 2025, which is a smaller vision to the bigger vision you have for your life. So let's think about a goal. So if we talk about leaders, true effective leaders revisit goals regularly. Do you have a goal? I'm sure we all have multiple goals. What is one goal that you have for right now? If you could think of out of your list of goals, or maybe you have one goal, in the comment section, in the chat, let's spit it out. What is one goal that you're working on right now? And I'm not even assuming. I'm hoping that we are all working on something. There may be people, again, who are just living life aimlessly and they don't have goals. They just wake up and sleep and just let life do its thing. But are you being intentional about living a life of purpose? Are you being intentional about becoming the leader that you were born to be? And if so, then you have goals. I just want you to drop one. Share one goal. Era says continuous self-improvement. That's an awesome goal. I know I have a goal of, I have a current goal right now of completing all of my podcast interviews for the year, because I want my podcast of 2025 to have been one of the best in the world. So I'm working towards that goal. And yes, you guys heard me. I wanted to be one of the best podcasts in the world. And so that means that I must work at it. So there are things that I must do every day. And there are things that I must do every month to make sure that I can reach that goal. That may be a lofty goal, but it's my goal. So that means if I were to not meet that goal, I'm not far from it. What is your goal? Reinventing myself, self care, becoming a software engineer from February to August. Awesome goal. Congratulations to you. Uh, Publishing my book this year. Ooh, Akila, I'm right there with you. Working on an e-commerce developer. Yes, 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 yes. Cultivating my skills and abilities musically. I love that you guys are being specific, like nothing like a vague goal. Because when our goals are too vague, we tend to not reach them. And even if we reach them, we wouldn't have reached them the way we want it. So you want your goals to be specific. You want them to be time sensitive. You want them to have a deadline. So make sure you have goals, specific goals, and then make sure they have a deadline to them. Okay, these are great goals, guys. I love it that you're sharing, learning a skill of trading, a goal to pay off credit and debt. A goal right now is personal growth and building my self-esteem. Shamika, thank you for sharing. Goal is to have 10 million subscribers on IG and 10 million subscribers on TikTok. Malia, Malia, that is an amazing goal by the end of the year. Yes, yes, yes. We agree. So now you put your goals out there. So you have a community of people who get to also support you, who get to encourage you, who get to have hope and faith just like you, and who get to hold you up. This is what I love about this space. Like we get to be here with each other together. So thank you all for sharing. Okay? So vision casting. You can always vision cast at the beginning of the year. You can always revisit your vision at the beginning of the year. Do you have to change it all the time? No, but make sure you are revisiting your vision at least every year. The more you can do it, the merrier, but consistently every year, watch how the effectiveness of your leadership improves. Okay. Habit number 5 leads us right into the habit of discipline. This is habit number 4, the habit of discipline. You will only have discipline the more focused you are. And you become focused because of the vision that you are setting for your life. And so discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Oh, this is a big one. I know this is big for me. Discipline is doing what you need to do when you don't feel like it. Anyone can think about things, lifestyle decisions, actions right now that they feel they can say, oh, I haven't been so disciplined. Like for me, I haven't been so disciplined in my diet. I haven't been so disciplined in exercising lately. And it's because I don't feel like it. And discipline is that very thing. Like what you don't feel like it, but you know you need to do it. However, if you consider my goal, so my goal right now has really been focusing on building my podcast. That has been my goal. Part of that means that there are certain things that I must do every day, every month, all day, all year. So that's my focus. Those things I'm very disciplined in. I'm very disciplined in reaching out to interviewers. I'm very disciplined in reaching out to guests. I'm disciplined in writing letters. I'm disciplined in editing. I'm disciplined in reviewing episodes. I'm disciplined in these things because they are a part of my vision and a part of my goal. So it becomes easy. One of my goals that's way down to the bottom is that of losing 10 pounds right after I just had a baby. And so it's kind of up, it's kind of there, but it's not there. So I'm less disciplined in that area. So wherever your focus goes is where you grow. So if my focus is podcast, my podcast is going to grow. Because my focus is not weight loss, then I don't grow in that area. So you want to make sure that you are focusing on what you want to grow. What you focus on grows. If you want to if you want your finances to grow, then you need to focus on what it takes to make that grow. If you want to lose weight, then you need to focus on that, which also means that you're going to be sacrificing what I'm going to call immediate gratification from other things. Okay. So time, health, focus, boundaries, all of these are a part of discipline. Do you have the time right now? Are you focusing on your health? Are you focusing on time? Are you focusing on setting boundaries? When I learned the art of setting boundaries, it probably was the best thing that I could have done for my habits, and setting boundaries with yourself and then setting boundaries with others. And self leadership is the first step to influencing others. The best way to influence others is for them to see, a lot of what it is that you want to produce in yourself first. So then they can say, man, if she can really live and do what she says she wants to do, then so can I. So where are you disciplined? What is your discipline? Are you disciplined? Are you do and I started off with saying what you focus on and what's going to grow. It's because I don't want you to beat yourself up if you're wanting something to happen and it's not happening because you're focusing on something else over here. I know people pride themselves in being multitasked, especially women. We can multitask amazingly, sometimes better than men. But sometimes multitasking is not the best. Because when you multitask, that means these five things that you're doing all get less than 20%, 20%, 20%, as opposed to focusing on one thing and giving it a full 100. So I would rather focus on one thing and give it a full 100 than focus on five things and they just get 20% of my effort. That's not leadership. But truly, and people think, oh, if I can manage five things at one time, I'm a great leader. No, actually, if you can manage one thing and be 100% good at it and give it all of you 100% until it's done, that makes you the best leader. So if you're focusing on one thing, allow that to grow. When that has grown to where you want it to be based on your vision casting, then you can move on to something else. So once I get my podcast to a space where it can live in itself and I don't have to have as much hands, then I get to say, okay, now I can move my goal of losing 10 pounds up to priority and I can focus on that 100% so that my podcast doesn't also fail. So you understand the difference. So this is where the habit of discipline comes in, but this is also why the habit of vision casting is so important. So I want you guys in the chat, what is one area where you're building discipline right now? And I say building discipline because discipline is one of those things that we get better at the more we do it. The more we do this thing, the more we habitually do what needs to be done, we get better at building it. What is one area of your life where you're building discipline right now? Spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, wealth, health, financially. These are different areas. What area are you building? Yes. FD says 100% focus on Jesus and he will do the rest. Absolutely. Rest. Tabitha said rest. That is so amazing. Rest is so good. Quan Info says self. Budgeting. Ooh, don't we all need to become more disciplined in budgeting? Time management. Absolutely. Becoming disciplined in managing our time, becoming disciplined in managing our schedules, our calendar, self mastery. Nelson, I love it. Physically and mentally, time with the Lord. Absolutely. Don't take for granted that we are automatically going to find time. We have to become more disciplined in making time for ourselves, making time for the Lord, making time for family, emotionally, academically. Good. So you're building discipline in these areas and allow yourself grace. The best thing you can do as a leader, as an effective leader, is to believe that you must have arrived at something to be great. I just want to know that you guys are building. To know that you are building discipline, you are already 500 steps ahead of the game. So thank you all for sharing. Habit number 5, the habit of service. The greatest leader is going to be the best servant of all. And leadership is not about being served. It's about serving. It's about you supporting. It's about you going around and serving the drink. And I'm talking figuratively, serving the food. It's about you getting in the trenches, not just standing up pointing fingers. So you get to ask yourself, who am I helping become better? Am I just making myself better? Is the habits that I do just servicing me? Or Are they servicing other people in the community? Are they serving people in my home, the people right in my backyard? Or are they servicing the world? Are you supporting others? Ask yourself. If you can ask yourself, no, I really want you to ask yourself in your mind, who am I helping become better? Or am I just all about me? Am I just all about me? Because if I think about Jesus, he's always the greatest leader of all. Like part of who he was because he was an even greater servant. He served his disciples. He served his gift to the world. He served people who didn't think they needed to be, who they didn't think they were even worthy to be served. He served. He served himself until his very last breath. He served himself. He served all that he had, all of his entire purpose, his mission, his vision and mission for coming to this world, to this earth, was to serve. Are you that serious about who you are as a leader? Are you willing to serve your life? I think about my father, served every bit of his soul to you, so that even in his absence 10 years later, we can still be learning. We can still be influenced. We can still be taught by him. And we're still talking about him because he served his gift, because he served his food, because he gave up his family, he sacrificed, he served himself. Do you even know that you have every gift, a gift to serve? Are you serving? When you think about your goals, when you think about your habits, do you have a habit of serving? Volunteering. That can look like volunteering. Do you volunteer your time? Do you volunteer your resources? Do you volunteer your space? Or are you always looking for a transactional way of doing things? Or are you going to say, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice a hour or two every week, every day, to go and service this part of the community? My husband and I and my family, I've been married 5 years. For the last 5 years, we have served and supported a group home for boys every Tuesday for, oh my, for about 6 hours. 6 hours, we just go to the home and we do whatever it is that they need. Sometimes they just want to know that people love them, and they would come, we would go there, and all they want to do today is play games. And we play games and we watch the smiles on these boys' play faces. We watch the smiles on the homeowners' faces. We've seen these boys go from what used to be 10 to now they are graduating high school. They used to be 12 and 14, and now they are graduating high school. They're having babies. They are having girlfriends. We get to have this with them. We get to enjoy this with them. We get to see them do great in school because we serve our time. We serve our resources sometimes. We sacrifice sleep just to go there every Tuesday to say, you know what, we see you and you are loved. Are you serving? And we do that every Tuesday, even when we don't want to. It's an hour away from where we live, but we put the discipline in. We plan our schedules around every Tuesday because we got to go and be with the boys. That's the habit of service. So tag someone. Think about someone who is being served by you. Tag someone who inspires you through their service. So who is servicing you that you're like, you know what? I'm actually gleaning from them. If you had to think of one person that's servicing you that you're learning from, who can that be? Drop that in the chat. Who is serving you? That means who are you learning from? Who are you pulling from? Who are you gleaning from? Who is filling your cup? This is a good way for you to get your cup filled. So one of the persons that if I was to give a name that's servicing me, that is inspiring me, that is influencing me, is Lisa Nichols. So I love the work that she is doing. I love the way that she does what she does, and I want to learn from her. So she is someone that I've made a coach. She is someone that I watch very often. I learn from. So she would be my person that I would put here. And that's just one of many. But who are you learning from? Marva says, and Marva, I love that answer. Love that answer. Marva says, my husband. My husband is inspiring me. I'm learning from my husband. Scott Hurd, Dr. Myles Munroe. Yes, he's always at the top of the game. My mom, the Bible, my pastor, TD Jakes, Dr. Myles. Yeah, so these are people that are servicing you. These are people that are sacrificing their time. They're giving you their fruits. They're giving you their gifts. So now you make sure that as the leader that you are becoming, that you're also doing the same habitually. Okay. And number 6, the habit of mentorship. We saw in Dr. Munroe, the greatest leader is going to be one that is mentoring those to follow after him. Every Paul needs a Timothy, but every Timothy needs a Paul. Leaders invest in themselves. We saw how Timothy was mentored by Paul, but we saw how much Timothy needed Paul. We saw how Paul also needed Timothy. Like leaders need the people that they are going to be teaching, and those who we are teaching, who we are mentoring, need us just as much. And we invest in others. So when you invest in others, it also allows people to want to invest in you even more. The best way that you can grow yourself is to invest in yourself. And I'm not talking invest in yourself buying clothes and shoes and Starbucks every day and coffee and food. I'm talking about, are you allowing yourself to put value on something that when you receive it, it actually becomes greater value. I'm talking about knowledge. I'm talking about books. I'm talking about people. Are you building relationships? Do you have 5 people around you, types of people around you that can help you grow? Do you have someone that's going to be a devil's advocate to always ask you why? Do you have a cheerleader? Do you have a coach? Do you have a trainer? Do you have a teacher? Do you have a peer? Like all of these are ways for you to make sure that you are keeping yourself under covering, if you will. My dad, as great of a man as he was, he always had mentors that were over him, that were covering him to make sure that he stayed the straight and narrow. Okay. And number 7, the habit of prayer and spiritual grounding. You can't pour from an empty cup. And one of the best ways for you to fill your cup is to make sure that you are praying, to make sure that you are spiritually grounding yourself in the word of God. Now we can talk about there's all kind of ways that you can spiritually do something, but here we're talking about that of the kingdom of God. Are you staying connected to the principles of the kingdom of God? Are you staying connected to the promises of of God? True leadership flows from identity, and we get our identity from our creator, who is God himself. Start your day with prayer, devotion, meditation. Start your day reflecting. Start your day thanking God for all that he has done for you. And then fill you up before you lead others. Fill your cup before you lead others so that you can actually start to lead and serve from the overflow of filling your cup. So those are the 7 habits. 1, the habit of reflection. 2, the habit of reading and learning. 3, the habit of vision casting. 4, the habit of discipline. 5, the habit of service. 6, the habit of mentorship. And 7, the habit of prayer and spiritual grounding. I still to this day I'm applying all of those habits to my life. I didn't wake up a leader, guys. I didn't just wake up and I was a leader. I became a leader. So when my dad has a book called Becoming a Leader, it's because though we were all born to lead, we have to become it. And so I apply these daily decisions, these daily habits to my life so that I can become the leader I was born to be. You're not going to just wake up one, but you're going to become one. And I want to see all of you become. I know you can do it. These are simple habits. These are not hard habits. If you start to apply them to your life, watch the little changes in the growth of your leadership that others will see, but that you will also see too. So we just have maybe, I don't have enough time for questions. Are there any questions? We don't have too much time at all. I can take 2 questions. I will try my best. I will try my best to take 2 questions if you guys are there. Thank you guys for staying. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I hope that you can walk away with something as you implement these habits in your life. Any questions? As you guys are putting your questions in the comments, I will probably answer about 2. Allow me to leave 3 simple keys with you. These are going to be simple. If you start to apply them right now, they will be a big game changer for your life in just 2025. And if you did them every year, the rest of your life. Number 1, start small. Number 2, track your progress. And number 3, stay accountable. Start small. Don't try to change everything. Don't try to do everything. Pick one habit and make the adjustment. Pick one habit that you haven't started and started today, but start small. Track progress. What gets measured gets improved. So if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. If you're not aware of it, you can improve it. So track your progress. And 3, stay accountable. Who's your mentor? Who's your teacher? Create a community. Growth thrives in support. Growth thrives in community. So make sure that you are building your accountable circle and keeping and staying accountable for your growth. Habits are how you turn intentions into transformation. We may have a lot of intentions. You may set intentions for the day. That's the great thing to do. But if you want to see that intention become a transformed breakthrough, a transformed result, habits. Okay. Any questions? Can you show us the books behind you? I absolutely can. So these are all books from my father. You can find these on Munroe Global. One is the Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men. Men, a really, really good book for you. This is a devotional written by my dad on relationships, Myles Munroe on relationships. You can find all of these on www.munroeglobal.com. This is a book on Understanding Your Place in God's Kingdom by Dr. Myles Munroe. It also comes with a study guide. Very good book if you want to know who you are and whose you are. The Burden of Freedom, amazing book. I wish I can get into this. I can. So make sure you get a copy, munroeglobal.com. And lastly, this is the book that I referred to earlier today, Becoming a Leader. This is when I said we were all born to lead, but we must become. And my dad understood that, and he wrote how we can do that. So this is Dr. Munroe on Becoming a Leader. Great question. Thank you so much for asking. Questions. How do I keep motivated? Ooh, Nathaniel, that is a great question. And I'm glad you asked that question. So when you think about, I think it was let's go back to the habits. Number 4, the habit of discipline. When you are not motivated, it is the habit of discipline that takes over. So motivation and discipline are 2 different things, but it is discipline that keeps you going when motivation runs out. So motivation is one of those things that's very big on how do I feel? I don't feel like it, so I'm not motivated. I don't want to do it. I'm not motivated. I've lost sight of my goal, so I'm not motivated. But discipline is what, when you don't feel motivated, allows you to still do something, because at the end of the day, discipline is doing what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it. So the best way for you to overcome motivation is to make sure that you have a discipline in something else, because you will become not motivated. Becoming unmotivated is a real and true thing for leaders. But discipline is what keeps us ahead. And that's why discipline is a part of the habits and not motivation. So I hope that helps. Absolutely. Moses, thank you so very much. Any other questions? And I see a lot of questions, guys. You don't have enough time. Very shortly here in the next couple of weeks, my brother and I are going to get together and do just a Q&A just for you guys. We know we do these lives. We talk about some amazing, powerful things. We give you great information. And then you guys have questions. And we want to honor your questions. We want to honor your hunger for knowledge and for information. So we're going to have one of these lives designated just for questions, just because we know that you guys are here. And so we want to honor and respect respect you for being here. So sorry I don't have time to answer all of your questions, but thank you for the questions that are coming in. Those who are watching the replay, make sure you watch it from start to finish. We are grateful that you are also here. Let us know where you're joining from. I hope this session added value to you. And if it did, here is how you can keep the momentum going. Make sure you share this live with a friend. If you know someone who can learn great information and knowledge and encouragement and hope from this live, make sure you share with them. Then I encourage all of you to choose one habit to commit to this week. What is one habit that's going to be a habit that gets you towards your goal that you can commit to? And then I encourage you all, if you want more information, if you want to know how you can do more of this work, if you want to know how you can be a part of any of our programs that we have coming up, visit www.themil.org to find out more information. We have some classes coming up in the fall. You want to be a part of them. Discover your purpose, and crafting your personal vision. So, if you want to go deeper and further on vision casting, make sure you are a part of this class coming up in the fall. And you can find out all that information on themil.org. And you can get information there. You can even sign up so that you can be a part of that. We would love to have you to be a part of that course. We go a lot deeper into what we talked about today. So thank you all for being here. Please know that I am cheering you on. I am hoping that you guys are becoming the truest form of the leader that God created you all to be. We get to lead with not only vision, but let's lead with purpose. Let's grow with passion and never, ever stop becoming. You guys have a wonderful day. And until next time, see you soon.